Okay, so for this week, let's start off with what's happening on the news front. It is a bit of a lighter week in FX this particular week. Last week was quite a volatile week. There's lots of things that happened left, right, and centre. We'll talk a little bit about that when we have a look at our charts. But I guess the focus, or the one that's probably going to be a little bit the most in the limelight this week, is probably going to be the Euro USD. Okay, we have a bit of US data coming out here. This is Thursday evening, and on the Wednesday. Okay, so it's probably the most, and a little bit of euro that's happening. So for me this week, the one that's going to be the most under the hammer in terms of news volatility is the Euro USD. Okay, so just make sure that you're aware of that, and when things are coming out, a lot of it will happen overnight. So it's our positions that are in the market overnight that will take the impact of whatever these data releases and news that come out. Okay, so that's pretty much what we have. The Aussie dollar is a little bit light other than the US side of the pair. We'll have a look at that in a moment as well. And the only other one that's of real interest is the JPY, which happens tomorrow. Okay, and this could spring up a lot of surprises. And we already know that Japan has delayed the retail tax, which we spoke about last week, which we were thinking might happen. It actually did happen during the week. There is talk that they'll hold an early election. Okay, so if that happens, expect a bit of volatility on the yen. An early election doesn't really mean weakness or strength. It just means, I guess, uncertainty. All right, so you will get a lot of movement depending what you're trading it against, how much that movement will have. Okay, so this is the one that might have a bit of a, I guess if we have the joker out of the pack, this is the one with a surprise packet for this week. Okay, so again, just remember that all these times that you see here on my left hand side are in Australian Eastern Standard Daylight Savings Time. So in other words, Sydney time for those of you in Sydney or Melbourne or the eastern side of Australia. Okay, so just make an adjustment, and those are the times when those pieces of news is coming out. There is a rather big electrical storm happening out my way, so if we lose, if there's an electricity blackout or anything like that, I do apologize. I will record the session and I'll post it up. So if I lose you guys, you're with me, I'll post it up, but we'll carry on. Okay, so let's get started. Let me just get rid of this and we'll bring up our trading platform. All right, we'll start off with the Aussie dollar. Okay, I've been looking at these charts all morning and I've been really struggling to find something that hits me in the face and says trade me, trade me, trade me. But let's go through it. Let's see what's happening. I'll start off with last week. We were right there, okay, and I drew that little marker so that I remind myself. And basically what we were concentrating on, we were talking about that there was a little bit of, looked like some kind of divergence, and we were inside a channel and we were thinking that maybe we're going to come back across to the other side of the channel. Well, as it turns out, that's exactly what happened, and furthermore, it actually went right over to the other side of the channel and we actually broke the other side. The confirmation on that break would have been this nice red candle over here that I'm just circling right now. It went through, it took out that low because it's got a wick that went lower. Okay, it took it out and closed below. So if you're trading the channel, if you didn't take this trade, okay, definitely you would have had an opportunity to take that one there. Can I just get a show of hands? Did anybody take either one of these trades? So really, in my eyes, there's two trades there. There's one which was the channel trade inside the channel, and then secondly, it was the channel break. Okay, I'm just going to show of hands if anybody took that, because we did speak about this one last week. Just let me know. If you didn't, just tell me no. That's fine. I just want to see. No? No one took it? Can you guys still hear me? Okay, fantastic. All right, so we have actually quite a few of you did take it. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 of you took it. Well done. All right, that's good. All right, I mean, a lot of the stuff that we do on a Monday, I'm only looking at the chart right now at this instance, so often I leave you with a bit of homework to continue to monitor that chart, because that's when it's going to happen. It's got to be a lucky moment that it's actually happening while we're doing it as well. Okay, now looking forward on this week, I was trying to, okay, there's one thing that I do want to talk about. Okay, for the time being, I am going to stop taking fib combinations with half round numbers. Okay, does everybody understand what I mean? So if I get a Fibonacci combination with a half round number, for the moment, the market is a little bit too volatile and I just keep getting stopped out and it's really starting to annoy me. So I'm going to temporarily stop, and I'll tell you when I'll start to do it again. Basically, once it calms down a little bit and the market changes, we will start to do them again. So, but I will still continue to take a full round number, but not a half round number. Can I just get everybody just to acknowledge that you have understood what I've just said? Yep. Great. Okay. Good stuff. All right. So I was trying to find some levels for us on the Aussie. So I'm on a 4-hour chart here and I really can't see anything. So the fib levels, there's nothing there. The only thing that I started to spot, and which you can probably already see on my charts, and let me just delete some of these things. If anybody can see it, can anybody start to see what I'm looking at here? On a 4-hour chart, I can see that I'm starting to get a triangle formation happening. Okay, now I can confirm this because I've got 4 touches. All right, so now it is a 4-hour chart, so basically it means we're going to have to look at it. I've got 2 touches at the top, 2 touches down the bottom. Okay, so the first point of interest, now I'm talking about this pattern strictly on a technical basis. Okay, for the time being, let's ignore all the fundamentals that's happening out there. Okay, but from a technical point of view only, I'm going to be very interested to see what happens as we approach this area over here. Okay, so is it going to shoot back up, or is it going to come back into play and bounce again in the triangle? I get the feeling, okay, that we're going to test the bottom one. All right, fundamentally speaking, there is so much out there that is saying that the Aussie dollar has to come back down. Okay, the fundamentals are all talking about. I read an article, or I can't remember, I saw something only just on Friday, and of a panel of about 25 analysts, something like 17 are all in agreement that the Aussie dollar should be heading back towards around about 82, 83 in that mark, and possibly before Christmas. Okay, now don't go out there and short the Aussie dollar just because I said that. All right, it's nice to know this information. If you feel that this kind of information affects your trading too much, well then just stop listening to that kind of information, because I know that personally I try to ignore as much as I can. The only reason I look at it is basically so that I can tell you guys about it. Okay, now sometimes the information can reconfirm a really good technical trade. So for example, if this market starts to move into this area and I start to see a resistive candle pattern, I will have the confidence to take a short back into the channel. Okay, and then when we get over here into this area, well then, and I get a breakout, then I'm definitely happy to take a short in this direction. Now, if I come up to this, let me delete some of my drawings. If when I come up to this area and I get a technical confirmation to go long, okay, this is the one that I really don't want to see. Okay, but if I do see it, I might take just a little trade, just so that the fact that I've actually taken the technical trade which says to trade it. So I probably will take something, but it's not going to be my favorite trade in the world. I don't know if that makes sense. All right, so you guys have to learn how you're going to deal with that yourselves. Sometimes the fundamental information out there can spoil your trade or your thoughts. Sometimes it can reinforce it. Okay, so what I'd be looking for is, as we reach this area, is I'm looking to basically trade back down, and then I'm interested in this area specifically, this one that I'm circling right now, to take that second trade down again. Okay, so that's what I'm basically looking for. That's what I feel that the market might give us. We could be wrong. If I get a nice break up, I will take a trade up, but I'll just take it a bit smaller than what I would normally would. Okay, whoops. I don't know if you guys could hear that, but that was very, very loud at my place. Okay, all right, so that's the Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar this week is, we need to just keep an eye on it and see what happens. Okay, somebody said that they saw a flag on it. Let me just double check. Alan's also asking a question. Is it too short to do a fib level between the last bottom on the top of the 4-hour chart? That one there, Alan? Oh, sorry. Last bottom, sorry. This one here to the 78.6 at 86. Let me check. Okay, so Alan's saying do a fib from here to there. Is that what you're saying? Okay, let me just see. Who thinks that it's okay to take that as a bottom and that as a top? Let's get a show of hands. I'm on a 4-hour chart. Who thinks that they are significant points? Okay, I've got a split vote here. I'm getting half the people yes and half the people no. Okay, if I'm going to be honest, I don't mind that, because this was the last significant point and the market went up quite a lot and it had to come back down quite a lot to make this one. And then from the last significant top, which was this one up here, to this one here, it had to come down and up quite a lot as well. So I get the feeling though, Alan, that this is not going to hold and this is going to go up that way. But let's just check. Let's have a look at that trade anyway. Give me one moment. So Alan is saying put a fib level from down there to there. Let me just zoom in a bit more so I can see this better. Okay. All right. So can everybody see the trade that we're talking about? Who can see it? So drawing from down there all the way up to there, and then coming down to the 78.6, it happens to land on 86 as such. We can see it. That's it. Well done. Okay. Given that it's on this triangle, that on this support line as well, or thereabouts, let's take it. I will take it. I know that it's going long, but it's only a short trade. We're going to do a 20-40 on it. Okay, so what we're really looking for is we're just looking for a little bounce, so it's okay. Let's put it in. Thanks, Alan. Okay, let me put this trade in. So we're going to take a buy at 86. Our stop will be 85.80 and 86.40. So we'll do a 20.40 and let's put it in. Are we all happy with that trade? Yeah, as Alex is saying, it happens to land on the bottom of this support level as well. So I kind of like that. So basically, this would be a trade within the big triangle. Okay. The only thing to look out for that I think may happen is if the market goes up and makes a new high, then come back and cancel your order out, because then it won't be valid anymore. If we break that top there, you've got to come back and cancel it out. Okay. All right. So that's the Aussie dollar for this week. So again, we've taken, over the last year, we've taken plenty of these triangle trades, and plenty of them have come really, really good for us, guys. So as homework, watch this one. Keep it on your radar, and let's watch every time we get close to the borders. That's the moment of truth. Okay. So if you want me to help you out, because I look at so many charts, if any of you guys are looking at this and it's approaching the border, just shoot me an email saying, Christian, we're getting close to that top support or bottom support, and then I'll keep an eye on it, and I'll Twitter out anything that happens, so that to alert you as most real time as I possibly can. Okay. So if you guys help me, I'll make sure that we all can see it as well. Okay. All right. Euro USD. Euro USD. Okay. So was anybody watching the markets Friday? I didn't trade on Friday at all, so kind of thankful that I didn't. Basically what happened was Mr. Mario Draghi came out and gave a very, very extremely dovish account of the euro. Basically, he said that they need to expand the quantitative easing that the euro will adopt, which basically crashed the euro. Okay, the euro dropped, like, it depends against which pair, but it dropped points everywhere. All right, the only people that would have been happy about that speech was anybody that was short. Okay, and you can see here, let me just zoom in, you look at this is a daily chart that we're talking about here. This candle, this is Friday's candle. Basically, this took place in the space of about an hour. It undone everything that the euro had done. Remember, we were trading long euro. Okay, earlier in the week we had taken a fishing strip based off these two candles there, and we were trying to go for that. We got stopped out on the second half of the trade, so we broke even. But this candle killed the market. Okay, now we're talking about against the USD, it was a move of about 150 pips, but I know that against the yen, it was like about 280 or something like that. Okay, now, so where does this leave us this week? It leaves us that there's absolutely no way that I would consider going long euro at the moment. Okay, so that's the first thing. So sometimes when we have this strong fundamental news, we can use it to our advantage, because basically already what it does is it eliminates half of the possibilities. Okay, so now, for example, I'm not really looking to go long. Okay, so I'm only looking for shorting opportunities. Okay, now have a look at that pattern there. What can you guys see from that pattern? This is a classic trading pattern that we take all the time. Can everybody see it? What are the key levels? Can someone call out a key level, what we want to do here? Now I'll start to draw it in for you. basically, does this help you? I'm on a daily chart here. Okay, Alex is saying a 13 EMA breakout. That's right. Now, let me just put a 13 EMA on this chart for us so that we can just analyze it. Now, when we trade London, the London strategy that I've shown you, it's really just a breakout strategy where I've adapted some rules so that you have a definitive way of understanding when to get into the trade and when to get out of the trade. Okay, but let me just superimpose a 13 EMA just so that you can see. Okay, there it is, and let's zoom in a little bit. It's that yellow line. Now let's do a candle count. Okay, remember when we talked last time I did London and we talked about a candle count? If I do a candle count, what's the candles that I like best? Type it in. What's the candles entry candle that we like best? Alex says candles 4 to 8. Anybody think anything different? Okay, so this is 3 to 8. Yep. Okay, so candle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Candle 6 is the money candle. Okay, puts you into the trade. It doesn't really go too far into drawdown. Okay, and then yes, it was news assisted, but that's technical trading. We can't say it doesn't work because of this or that. You just trade what the chart shows you, and if you were in this trade, like a London type trade, you've just hit T1, okay, because we're very shy of this bottom. So the trade, because it is a daily chart, okay, the next trade that I'm looking for, since I've missed this one, is I'm looking for a breakout. Okay, so what I'm really looking for now is I am looking for a break down there into this direction. Okay, now how far can that, try and find the level down here. Now, if we think about the fundamentals, the US is on fire. All their data keeps coming in strong. Gold is going to the floor. So at the moment, the US dollar is seen as a safe haven, which basically what that basically means is that a lot of investors that have money, they're moving their assets towards US dollars. So what they're doing is they're buying US dollars, so the US dollar is getting stronger. And the same token, based on what Mr. Draghi said last Friday and what's been going on, the euro is about to go in the exact opposite as the US dollar, which basically means they want to weaken their currency. They want to print. They're going to go out and buy, they're going to go out and buy bonds. They're going to flood the market with extra cash, and they're going to cool off the euro and weaken it. The only people that are against that are the Germans. So that's another issue that is still unclear what's going to happen. But obviously the Germans don't have an interest in that because they are really the powerhouse behind the euro. Okay, so the bottom line is we have two economies going in complete different directions. Everybody thinks that we're going to touch 120. Okay, now again, don't go out and just short it because I said that, but the 120 level is what everybody's thinking. So, you know, this pattern right now looks ripe. If we break that's a break-in trade that I would love to take. Okay, what I think might happen, it may look a little bit more like this. Give me one moment. If we're going to hit 120, what's going to happen is we're probably going to go down a little bit. Then we're going to pull back again to a 13 EMA as an example again, and then we're going to go again. Okay, so that's probably the journey that it would take to get us down to about that 120. So I think there's one trade right there on the break, and there could be another trade on the pullback over there. Okay, so you need to position yourself. If you want to, if it's a trade that you want to hang on to, say for like a week or a week and a half, just size yourself accordingly so that you can ride the trade out. Okay? Everybody clear on the euro? So what I might do, give me a sec, I'll go into a 4-hour chart and I might be able to place a break-in trade. Let's have a quick look. What I would prefer to do is I'd prefer to watch it break than just place it. Look, let's just place it. I'm going to place it at 45. I'm going to give myself about, I don't want to get whipped into it, so the level we need to break is 123.56. So I'm going to try and jump this at 123.45. Give myself a bit of room. 45. Okay, here we go. And what am I going to try and ride it to? Give me one moment. I need a big stop on it, guys. I need a bit of 250 pip stop on it. So that means I'm going to go, I'm going to try ride it to 121. Okay, so this is this trade may last 2 weeks. Okay, so this is going to give me an opportunity to use the mini terminal, and I'm going to, because it's a larger, and I'll show you how I place the trade. Somebody asked me on Friday, last session, about a pending order, and I didn't do it. I forgot to show you how to do it, but here we go. I'll do it right now. Okay, here we go. Now, it's a sell limit, so every other time I've just had it on buy or sell, so I think it was Lois. I don't know if you're in the room, Lois, but basically instead of buy or sell, you have to have sell stop. Okay, this is the one that I need. It's a sell stop. I'm going to get in at, what I say, 123.45. Okay, now how much am I going to risk? I'm going to risk fixed cash. I'm going to risk $150 on this trade. Okay, that's what I'm happy to risk. The stop in pips, I said, has to be 200 and make it 260, and I'm going to go for 121. Let's make it a 1-to-1. I'll go for 260 pips as well. Okay, when you have a trade like this particular one where the target is so big, what you can also do is you can collect some of the profit after, say, 80 pips or something like that. Okay, but for now I'm just placing the raw trade and place it. Let's see, and it should size it for me automatically, so let's see if it does it. Okay, there it is, and it sized the trade for me as a 0.05 trade. It's okay, so you can see where it's placed the stop on my chart up there, so it's in the correct spot. It's exactly where I want it, and it looks good. Did anybody have any problems? So I didn't choose that 0.05. All I chose was that I wanted to risk $150, and the mini terminal worked it out for me. Okay, everyone clear on what I just did? And then what I do is I just click it off. Where's my target? Just want to see what it looks like on a daily chart. That looks good. Okay, it's a 1-to-1 trade. Okay, so if this was a 5-minute chart and we were only risking, say, 27 pips or something like that, and this distance here was 27 pips, I'm sure that most of you would have no problems placing the trade. It just happens that I'm on a daily chart and I'm risking roughly 270 pips. Just size yourself smaller and you should be fine. Okay. All right. So I've placed that one. I haven't been triggered yet, but we're waiting to get triggered. Let's move on. GBP USD. Okay, GBP USD, I think I had a pending at 159.50. I'm cancelling that one out, okay, because it's a fib with a half round number, as I said earlier, so that's gone. No order there. I want a daily chart, and let me just step into, I'm just looking for any fib levels, and I've got none, so let me get rid of that, and let me go into a 4-hour chart and let's have a closer look. Okay, we're in the middle of congestion. Okay, I took a couple of trades during the week on a couple of the copy accounts, long pound, based off we were getting these movements and they trying to break through, and I got something out of the trades, but it just keeps hitting this ceiling and I'm right in the middle of this. So to be honest, I still get the feeling that maybe we're going to get some kind of a bounce, but it's just not happening. So I'm not going to get stubborn with it. So the trades that we're looking for here would be, again, we're looking for a break, but this time do it like a classic break. Let it break, let it pull back up into your 13 EMA, and then hit it. Okay, this is a 4-hour chart, by the way. Okay, if it breaks on the upside, just hold off on it. So I'm still don't really want to trade pound long until we need some more evidence of other things. So based on a 4-hour chart, what we're thinking might happen is a breakdown, pull back, and then hit the trigger. Okay, so that's what I can see on the pound US. Let me just have a quick look at another time frame, see if we have anything else. No, that's all I can see for this one this week, guys. So I can't take any trades right now. All I can do is monitor and wait and see what happens. Okay? So I won't place a trade at the initial break with this one. I'll wait for it. Okay, so you'll have to keep an eye on it. Email me as we're getting close to those borders, and then I'll look at it with you and we can let everybody know. All right? Okay, gold. Okay, on a daily chart, as soon as I saw this, I thought this looks really, to me, whenever you see something like this, it's almost perfect symmetry, everything. Basically, the first thing that I'm thinking is this an ABCD pattern? That's the first thing that I'm thinking of, okay? Now, at the moment, remember, fundamentally, gold is very weak, all right? So let's check to see, because if it is an ABCD pattern, this is something, and look where we're sitting at 1199.81, okay? So let's just check. Okay, so if this is my A point, this is my B point, and so A to B, and then I'm extending down. It's hitting the 161, so it's good. It's close enough, so that is a valid C point. So now I need to check whether this is a valid point as well. So let's do that. The way I'll do that is I draw it now from B to C. And you can see right there, we're at the 61.8. This is a valid ABCD pattern. Okay, can everybody see how I derived the pattern? Yep. Fantastic. Okay, so when we have an ABCD pattern, what do we like to do? What's the trade that I would be taking? Okay, most people are saying short. That's right. Okay, so it is a short. So the trade that we would be looking at taking when we have an ABCD pattern is we're looking to trade in this direction. Now, before I take that trade, let me just check one last thing. I'm just going to plot my Gartley indicator onto the chart just to have a quick look. Okay, I'm on a daily chart here. Let me just check a different time frame. Aha, there we go. On a 4-hour chart, I have this. Okay. Now, what I do like about this particular trade is, one, that it's an ABCD pattern on a daily chart. Two, it is a bearish Gartley on a 4-hour pattern. Three, the fundamentals are just all awkward for gold. And also, this level, we had already marked it out from a couple of weeks back, remember? That grey line, which is at the 1200 level, okay? So I'm happy to take a short on gold right now. Now, the only thing, guys, if you don't trade gold normally, don't take this trade. Understand with gold, the sizes is a little bit different. And I can tell you the smallest trade that you can take from current levels to, it's going to be a risk of around about $200 and something. Okay, so, and that's the smallest trade that you can take at the moment. All right, now I do believe that they're going to make some changes to that, but at the moment that's what it is. All right, so just understand that. I'm going to take it anyway. Okay, so give me one moment, and I can't take an 0.1. I've got to take a 0.1. And I'm going to put a stop at 12.10. I'll adjust this stop in a moment graphically, but I just need to place one in so that I can start the trade. Oh, where's my stop? 12. Sometimes when you get the numbers wrong, it bounces on you. Okay, so all right, so I'm in the trade now. Let me go to my daily, and now there's the, sorry, on my 4-hour, what I need to do is drag that one up there. That's fine. And drag this one. I'm going to go to the middle. Okay, so the levels are, I've got a stop at 1222.64, and I've got a target at 1176.87. Okay, you can read it straight off my chart there if you can see these two levels there. Okay, Lois is saying, looked at it in the morning, thought it may be too far away from the box. Lois, are you referring to the fact that it's far away from the box in that direction, like sideways? Is that what you mean? That the box is over here? Okay, this direction has got nothing to do with it. Okay, so don't worry about that. The only direction that you need to worry about is this direction. Okay, so no, that's fine. Okay, all right. So that's gold for us this week. We'll just monitor that, see what happens. Let's have a look at the yen. US yen. Okay, we've been talking about the US yen, and it's just been going up and up, kind of like a runaway train. It did have a bit of a pullback on Friday. The yen basically strengthened a little bit, and it was based on a couple of things that they were talking about and the speculation of what might be happening with these new elections, the retail tax. It was the aftermath of everything that was said a couple of days earlier. So it had an impact on the market. This is still a market that I do not want to go short on. If you're not in this trade, it's one of those that it's kind of like so far into the trade now that you just have to watch it from the side. I think when we first caught it, we said 115 is a realistic target. When we got to 115, readjusted and we said 118 looks good. 120 is still the number. How high have we got? We have got as high as just almost 119. We've hit 118.97. Okay. And when there's been such a big movement, a lot of the pullbacks are caused by people collecting their profits, selling out of their positions, and only to find them buying back in at much lower prices again. Okay, so really on the US yen, I don't have much to say. There's no fib levels. It's something that's just gone very, very far and very advanced trade, or sorry, I should say, it's a trade that is very advanced into its journey. So if you're not in it, just watch it from the side and save this movement into your database of experience. Okay, because we're talking about a movement which is, 1,000, nearly 400 pips in a very short period of time. I know that when I do the live workshops, that one of the first things one of the things that I do talk about is when do we feel a market's going to turn around? And I know that whenever most of us see a movement so much in one direction, our instant reaction is surely it's got to come back now, and we want to sell it. Now, if you sell in too early, okay, and it continues to go because it's a leveraged trade, it can really do some heavy damage to your account. Okay, so save this movement into your memory banks so that when you get that temptation next time, often when the movement is so much in one direction, the people that are really making the money are the ones that are not trying to counter trade it, are the ones that just jumping on and going along for the ride. Okay, so other than that, got nothing else to say on the US yen. Does anybody have any questions on it? Type it in and I'll answer them for you. Lois, if your gold, shut down that chart and open up another chart off another gold chart. Okay, I had that problem and it fixed it for me. Okay. Lois is basically saying that when she's trying to take a trade off gold, it wouldn't allow her to do it. And I think if you just shut that chart down and just reopen another chart from your market watch on the left hand side, if you can't see everything on your market watch, right click inside it and click on show all. It'll show everything tradable. Then scroll down and look for XUA USD and then just drag it on and it should be okay. Okay, all right. Euro yen is one also that's just been going gangbusters. This one's actually moved more. This one's moved 1,500 pips, but have a look at that big candle that we had on Friday. We're talking about a candle which was 230 pips. Okay, in a very, very short period of time, just went straight down. That was caused by what we spoke of at the start of the session, Mario Draghi basically saying that they need to expand quantitative easing measures for the euro. Okay. Alan's saying there's a fib level at 117 for the US yen. Give me 1 second. What time frame chart, Alan? 4 hour or daily? Okay. All right. There's the fib level right there. If I go from here to here, let's get a vote. Who likes that as a low? Who thinks this is the point that I'm interested in? Is that a significant low? Okay. Slightly more saying no than yes. If you're not sure, just say not sure. Okay, this is a tough one, Alan. I actually don't think this is a proper low. Okay, now it could well work. It is a full round number. It is going long, which is nice. So it could be worth a trade anyway, trying to take the trade that way. But this point here, and I'll show you why. Let's get rid of these drawings and let me just mark it out. When I go to my daily chart, look at the point there. You can see that it's not really a significant low. It's just a low in a journey up, but not a significant low. Okay, so the point, just in case you can't tell, this is the point here that we were pointing at. Okay, so when we get such a big exponential move, all right, I usually will only use that until I need at least a pullback of some decent size. Okay, so yes, granted, it does fall on the 117. I just don't feel that that's a valid point. Okay, so I'm not going to place that trade, but well spotted. Okay, all right, back to the euro yen. Okay, so the euro yen had that big pullback on Friday. At the moment, and this is a pair that I trade a lot, and I'm trying to find the only trades that I can find with the euro yen at the moment are intraday trades, like based off a 5-minute or a 15-minute chart. So for this week, and I'll just double check on my notes. The only thing that comes to mind with me right now with the euro yen in particular is I get the feeling that we may now start to range, and the reason for that is simply because the euro wants to weaken their currency, the Japanese wants to weaken their currency. It's a matter of who can do it quicker than the other. Okay, so they're both trying to do the same thing. So they're both currencies will be losing ground against other currencies, but against each other, they're in the same boat as each other. Okay, so when you find that happens, you start to see the currency pairs start to range, and if it does start to range, okay, we will find it. We'll keep an eye on it. What we might get, when the currency starts to range, we'll get some nice triangles happening. We'll get double tops, double bottoms. We'll get other kinds of trading opportunities come up. But for now, we just got to wait for it. At the moment, I don't really want to go long or short on it, especially with what unfolded on Friday. Okay, does everybody understand my reasoning behind that? Okay, great. All right, so let's go on to the Kiwi dollar. Kiwi dollar, I left you last Friday from memory. If you were an aggressive trader, I said we're ready right now for a trade. We had the divergence at the top of the channel, or was there or thereabouts, very, very close, and basically it came across and we broke down as well. So very similar to the Aussie dollar. Okay, so that was a Kiwi dollar. So that's happened. Moving forward, let me get rid of these channels now because they're no longer valid. If I look at my daily chart, I can see that on this daily chart, we have definitely ranging. We're ranging quite nicely, actually. So we've got to start to look for trades within ranging type strategies. Remember, like the strategy that we looked at with the Bollinger Bands, we try and find congestion and then move into the Bollinger Bands and try and trade inside them. Okay, if go back and review that if you don't remember, but at the moment, right now where we are, based on what we do on a Monday, all I can see is that we're still stuck in here until we leave this area. All I can do is try and trade inside the ranges. So if I do that on a 4-hour chart right now, these swings are so nice as well. Just look how nice they are. Oops, sorry, the chart just moved on me. You know, these are very, very nice swings. So, like, if you catch a section like that, you can really get some nice trades going, okay? So, this week, Kiwi dollar, just as homework, just monitor it and just watch it and try and draw where you feel the chart's going to go and see how I know it sounds silly, but it gets you in tune with the market a little bit better, okay? So, Kiwi dollar, nothing this week. All right. Finally, last one, Euro Aussie. And the Euro Aussie was one that took a beating. What's that? That's 200 and it's nearly a 280 pip candle. Okay. That was again based on the euro. And the Aussie got a little bit of strength back. We're right in a range right now with that as well, and we really need to leave it before we can see anything. Okay, let me just do a couple of fib levels, see if I can find us something. Has anybody else found any fib levels on the Euro Aussie? We got stopped out. Sorry, I shouldn't forget that. We got stopped out. Let me just talk one moment about that, because when you trade, I've got to find the trade. Can someone give me the level? What were we trying to do? We were trying to sell at 44.50. Is that right? Oh, let me just check my trade history. I've done so many trades on this account. $44.50. Okay. $44.50. Okay, so I think the trade is in here somewhere. Okay. Let me just double check. Okay, so the trade's in that grey area. Now, I just want to show you something. So what we were trying to do, because the trade went halfway through to the journey, we're trying to go for there, up to 44.50 and bounce it back down. That's what we were trying to do. What actually happened, if I go into a 1-hour chart, have a look at this. The trade actually got us in. Sorry, hang on, let me just get, because I was watching it. I'm just trying to home in where we actually got triggered. Let me just step down another time frame. Okay, so the trade came, got us in right on the nose and shot down pretty much straight away, and then went back up, had another go, but it held out and then the trade failed. Okay, now what I want to basically highlight to you is it got up to about 20 pips positive straight away. Usually this was the movement that should have got us our target. That should have gone lower and got our target. It got halfway and it failed. Normally when I trade these 20-40 type scenarios, if I get to 20 pips of my target, okay, and then it comes back to entry, I find that after that they tend to fail. It's that first movement which is the one that can usually get you to your target. So what you can do is you can take half of your profit, for example, at 20, and then the other half at 40, which would essentially change it to a 20-30, but it's one way that you will keep more trades. Okay. Again, we're not going to do this one anymore because this is on a half round number. They work. I do prefer the full round number. Until the market changes, we're going to ignore those. But let's have a look what's happening right now. I just wanted to mention that because I was watching it. I thought we had a winning trade, and then I went, did something, came back, and it's like gone. Nothing. Okay, there's nothing there. All right, guys, on the Euro Aussie, don't have anything. We're in congestion. We just need to wait and see what plays out. Okay, any questions on anything before we call it a day? I'll just summarize what we've done. We have taken a gold trade. We've got a buy limit on the Aussie dollar at 86. It's a 20-40, and we've got a sell stop on the Euro USD, which is a longer time frame type trade. It does have a bigger stop. It's we're trying to get in at 123.45 with our stop at 126.05. Okay, and our target, I've got it at 120.85. Okay, so those are the three trades. The Euro trade may last maybe 2 weeks or a week and a half or something like that. Gold one, it will probably be a little bit longer as well because it's a longer trade as well. Okay, any questions on anything from today, guys? Okay. If there's no questions, we'll wrap it up. See you all on Thursday. Okay. And enjoy your trading week. Okay. If you have any questions, let me know. And as we get towards those upper supports and bottom supports of those trades that we're looking at, if someone could just send me a quick email with a picture, it'll put me on the radar on it, and I'll keep an eye on it, and I can send something out via Twitter for any entries. Okay? Lois, I'll give you a call in a moment, see if we can sort that out for you. Other than that, everybody have a great week. I'll see you all on Thursday. Bye for now.